If you clicked on this video, I'm going to assume you know what LeetCode is. It's basically just a website that gives you coding problems to help you prepare for coding interviews. But then one day I was scrolling on TikTok and found something called the LeetCode Contest. I've never heard of this before, but in the comments section, they were talking about how it helps you learn coding or data structure and algorithms a lot faster, so I wanted to give it a try. Before the contest, I had some knowledge about data structure and algorithms, but I didn't know everything. I've been following LeetCode's roadmap, and as you can see, not all of the boxes are all filled out, so I still have a bit to learn. Going into the contest, this is how it worked. I get 1 hour and 30 minutes to complete 4 coding questions.
Hexadecimal?
My first question I got was pretty easy. It was just a base conversion question, where I would transfer my number from base 10 to base 16, hexadecimal. This problem was especially easy for me because of something I learned in school, Euclid's algorithm. Basically how it worked is that I would keep dividing the number by the base that we're converting to, and the remainder would be added to the result. And I just keep doing this until we get 0 when we divide. There are some other parts to the question, but this is like the main thing that it's asking for. After fixing a couple of bugs, I finally completed the first problem, and then I moved on to the second one. This second problem was like the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. So for this problem, we have a 2D array, and we start at the top left, and our goal is to get to the bottom right. Every time we go into a cell, we add that value in the cell to our cost, and we have to try and find the minimum cost. We also can only go to the bottom of our current cell or the right of our current cell. So for this problem right here, the cost of the minimum value would be 3, 1, and 1. So 3, and then 1 to the right, and then 1 to the bottom. And if we get 3, 2, 1, which means like we start at 3, we go 1 to the bottom and 1 to the right, our total value would be 6. Also, I know what you're thinking. Wouldn't this be easy? Don't we just have to go towards the cell with the least amount of value, checking the right cell and the bottom cell? Well, let me show you the problem with that. So for this example right here, we start in the top left with 1, right? And following the one with the least amount of value would take us to the bottom cell where it also has 1. You know, 1 is less than 2, so we go to the bottom. But then we get stuck in this trap where we're surrounded by 9, 9, and 8. Where on the other hand, we went to the right where 2 was, the higher number, we could have got 0, 0, and get to 1 over there. With this in mind, I had no idea how to solve this. The only thing I could think of was using recursion and checking every single possibility. But then this means that I'll have to check 2 to the 10,000 amount of possibilities, and the calculator can't even run this number. I didn't know at the time, but this problem is actually a 2D array dynamic programming type of problem. And looking at my roadmap, I have yet to start learning about this type of stuff, which means I was pretty much doomed from the start. Eventually, I just called quits on this problem and I just moved on to the next one to see if I had like any chance with it. Going into this next problem, I already knew I was cooked. Based off of the title, I could tell it was a directed graph problem. Another topic I have yet to learn. For the rest of the competition, I kept on working on the second problem because it was the only thing like I even understood a little bit about. I checked out the final question of the contest, which is supposed to be the hardest question, and just by looking at it, it was. I didn't even attempt to try and solve it because I was already too confused anyways. Anyways, that was pretty much the rest of the contest, and I think it was a good experience, and it helped me see how hard these coding problems really are.